Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome. This is going to be your spiritual tarot reading, and we're going to go ahead and get straight into it and see what we have coming in for you, Sagittarius. I am feeling so much lighter today than I've felt in a while, and so you guys might also be feeling a bit lighter as we're going through October into November. I just feel also that the energy has sped up quite a bit, which I also mentioned in the Libra reading. So let's see what we have coming for you, Sagittarius, and how you may benefit from this energy. So, you had a few cards, but I feel like, oh, okay, I wasn't going to keep them, and then I heard keep them. All right, so you have Cancerian energy here, the card of healing and roots. So this is talking about healing things in the home, in the family, in relationships, and that being highlighted during this time frame. It's also talking about getting in touch with your emotions, Sagittarius, and going into that more like empathetic, sympathetic, feminine type of vibe, even if you're a Sagittarius male. This could also be kind of a moody energy, so careful with that, that you don't get too into your feelings to where you get defensive or argumentative, as sometimes that can be a problem when you have this card combination here. Because there seems to be a lot going on underneath the surface, Sagittarius, and you have 1, 2, 3 cards that all talk about the family. The family structure, or keeping it in the family, I don't know. So there's this big emphasis right now on family in particular, okay, or the home environment for some of you. There might be some healing needed around that, or there's definitely an opportunity for growth, amends, like some sort of release here. Sometimes this card also talks about your personal development and generational trauma. I don't know if you've been kind of grappling with some things, Sagittarius, but, you know, I think tarot can be very therapeutic, but y'all, it is not a replacement for actual therapy, okay? So never be ashamed to, like, go the traditional route or speak to, you know, a therapist, or especially if you have like unhealed wounding from childhood. Of course, you can do it through the spiritual route. I have in my own spiritual practice, but I'm just saying, like, for some reason they're emphasizing also to not discount like traditional ways of kind of talking things out or healing things, even if it's with someone that you trust, okay? But I feel like some of you, I almost said someone in your family, but then I got like, but the family has created trust issues. So maybe veer away from that. You know, sometimes it's not wise to talk about family to family. You know what I mean? Yeah, interesting messages to get right off of the bat, right? Some of you also may feel like a total introvert. As like the weather gets colder, as we go into November, you could be going into like comfort mode, which isn't a bad thing because it's a good opportunity to get comfortable with your environment, do some self-care, some cooking, you know, hang out, enjoy yourself in a familiar environment, okay? So, let's see what else we have coming through for you, Sagittarius. You have the 3 of Cups. So again, there's that card about like things coming together, amends, release, reconciliation. I feel like if there has been damage around the family structure, there's an opportunity to have some sort of release or growth or amend around that. But I'm also getting that first you must... Okay. First, you must amend something within yourself, because you have to remember relationships are very tricky, and relationships often mirror ourselves as truthfully in the very large spiritual picture. We are one. We are one collective, conscious streaming of thoughts. We are of one collective mind, body, and soul. And so we think that there's a lot of separation between us and the people we're dealing with. And particularly, we want to believe there's a lot of separation between us and people who give us a hard time or do not love us. But the truth is, there is no separation. Sometimes we call people into our life who cause trouble for us as a way to point out areas in ourselves that have yet to be healed, that we have yet to love about ourselves, that we have yet to make amends with ourselves, Sagittarius. So, very deep and personal message coming through. And relationships heavily being influenced or highlighted at this time. So, woo, wow, never a dull moment. So let's go into the... we're going to go into the headspace of the current energy, see what's going on there. Then we're going to go into the heart space, see what's going on there. And then the big spiritual picture. So you have the Empress here. The King of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Two of Swords. This is what's going on in the headspace here, Sagittarius. So I feel like here is that message again about focusing on self-care. The Empress energy is all about taking care of yourself and that more feminine type of vibe, right? And you see, this is where this person's focus is at. So again, I feel like it begins with us, right? Sometimes we look outside of ourselves and we say, if that person would just be different, if that person would just change, I could feel better. But the truth is, Sagittarius, one, you don't have control over whether or not someone changes. So that's futile. But also, your mood really does not depend on another person's ability to be or do anything different. It's more so with your ability to move away, change your perspective, or create space to allow yourself to soothe your own mood, to soothe your own emotions. And it's like this message coming through of that's why you need to focus on doing things that make you happy, things that make you feel good. And I also heard ownership, taking ownership of your own emotions, but not owning other people's emotions. That's so tricky, right? Because sometimes it feels like if we do what feels good to us, then we're not honoring maybe what someone else wants from us. But this is a time frame where you're just going to have to make that not matter, right? Where you're just going to have to lovingly put that loving light on yourself. And who cares what they think? There's some sort of circumstance and event that's unfolding, though, that you may not be privy to or aware of. But I also feel like the universe is not withholding this, but the reason that there's not an awareness around it yet is because it's none of your business, really. Wow, that was a very blunt message. And then I heard ignorance is bliss. Some of you have made, inadvertently, by trying to be there for other people, have made other people's problems your business. And Spirit is saying, okay, that's fine unless it affects you emotionally and throws you out of balance energetically. And in that case, then it does become a problem. Don't make other people's problems your problem. Be there for them, but let them own their own issues, Sagittarius. This is such a firm message. This is making sense. All right, let's go into the emotional space and see What's coming in the emotional space, relationship sector for Sagittarius? The Eight of Wands. The Eight of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. So, Sagittarius, when it comes to the emotional space and relationships, I feel like don't get too caught up in your emotions. Why am I getting a song? I get so emotional, baby. It's going to be really hard not to get caught up in your emotions, possibly, especially in Scorpio season, which is coming in a week or two, right? Towards the end of October. Especially if you have Scorpio in your chart or you're a cusper. But, or you could be dealing with a very emotional person, okay? And that having some sort of energetic impact on you here, Sagittarius. But there is like, this message is out 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. All about comfort and security, introversion, stability, focusing on your stability, being comfortable in your own skin, not letting other people get into your mental space, not worrying what other people think, zoning out, tuning it out. This is going to be really important, all right? So instead of fearing the unknown, Sagittarius, take that energy and put it on yourself and feel how well and good you are and how deserving you are of the stability and the love and all of that of which you are and wants to come into your life. And I actually feel like a lot of you are going to steer away from anything that feels uncertain to you. And I actually think that's a wise thing right now. Like sometimes Sagittarius, you could be very impulsive or a very action-oriented sign as a fire sign. But during this time frame, I actually feel you kind of pulling back on that a little bit and regrounding yourself or finding more comfort and stability than anything else. So if the energy's been really erratic or there's been a lot of movement, I feel like stability coming through. And I also heard stabilizing your mood. So let's go deeper and see the bigger spiritual picture here for you, Sagittarius. What in the world? That card just flew out. There it is. It's under my chair. Oh, look at my hair. Ooh. Sorry. A little funny for you. The Hangman. Big spiritual picture for my Sagittarius. The Ten of Swords. The Chariot. Eight of Cups. What are they walking towards? Death and rebirth. High Priestess. Oh, yes. Ace of Wands. All right, so Sagittarius. This is a time period where you also might be closing out karmic cycles, where you might also be getting a shift in perspective, okay? There's opportunities here to travel or move out of your comfort zone for some of you, but I actually feel you being a little bit hesitant towards that. I feel like some of you are like on this healing journey, but it's an emotional journey. It's not even got anything to do with like what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. it has more to do with like what's going on in your internal dialogue. What do you have going on intrinsically within you? But then here's you kind of walking into a new horizon, right? As a changed person, or with some sort of changed perspective, and trusting your intuition more, and your intuition leading you towards something you really want, towards more inspiring thoughts, more inspired action, more inspiration in general, right? So I just feel like, don't be afraid to go on the emotional journey, Sagittarius, and explore your feelings and heal the things that you need to heal within you. And to focus that love on yourself and taking care of yourself and getting rest and doing things that feel good to you. You know, other people may like that. They may not like that. That's not your problem. You know, that's their problem. So I just feel like, I heard do you, boo. It's like prioritizing yourself, making yourself a priority. Maybe you've been taught to make other people a priority, but let me know how that's working out for you. Probably not that well, right? Why? Why does it not work out for us when we make other people's well-being priority over our own? Because we don't have any control over their well-being. And it's not our job to feel and live through other people. But also, you'll find that nobody's going to reciprocate that fully. And you know why they're not going to reciprocate and then put you above them? Because we are all designed to focus on self. It is a self journey, right? So you might find that you've been making all these other people a priority and nobody's been making you a priority. And that could make you angry when you think about it. But, and I don't mean this to be harsh, but you have to kind of put the blame back on yourself because you are expecting something out of another person that is not their job to give you. And it was not your job to make them a priority. It was not your job to shore them up or to feel for them or to put them over yourself. That you negated yourself and in the process may have felt the repercussions of that. Sometimes we, please don't take this the wrong way, right? Like, I feel like it's always well-intending when we do this, and I've done this too, right? My Venus is in Sagittarius, where I prioritize someone else's emotions over my own, and I always paid the price. Because it wasn't my job to do that. It was my job to take care of Dana, because I am the only one who can take care of my internal world. You know what I mean? Like, that is your one and only job. Your one and only job is to care about how you feel and advocate for yourself and love yourself. And you can do that in a loving way. You don't have to be a jerk about it, but, you know, take some of your power back, Sagittarius, and allow yourself to feel good about it as well. And there's some sort of intuitive nudge that you're having that's helping to kind of pull you out of a certain energy and into a better feeling mood or better circumstance or better job or better relationship. Like there's betterment on the horizon for you. But it's after you get really comfortable with where you're currently at, and also after you prioritize you. So let's see what the guidance has to say. We have, as I breathe deeply, I feel myself thrive, and no one else needs to know this. Thriving is as natural as breathing. By relaxing often and breathing deeply, you will naturally thrive. So again, that's encouraging you to have some time to deep breathe, meditate, take some time for yourself, feel your emotions, you know, process some things here, Sagittarius. And then this says, it's not necessary for even one other person to understand me, for me to attract the experience that I want. It's not necessary for anyone to understand your journey, your plight, your heart. It's only your job to understand that, Sagittarius, and get in alignment and love yourself as you are, because that's how Source, that's how God sees you, perfect as you are. And so the quicker you can line up with that, the quicker things line up for you. Keep that in mind. And we're going to leave it there. So zodiac signs you could be connecting with, Sagittarius, or having your own chart. I have Cancerian energy out twice. Taurus energy here. Scorpio, Cancerian energy. Capricorn and Virgo energy. Those are the primary signs I'm seeing, but keep in mind it's a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff, as I do have videos, and I will be hosting an event over there soon. Tarot Time with Dana is the name of all my social media platforms, located in the description box below, as well as in the About section. And otherwise, I'm wishing you the very, very best, Sagittarius. And until next time, my friends, namaste.